We're here today to announce legislation that I'll be introducing in the state legislature to protect the pensions of retirees in a process which is called pension de-risking. It is an absolute disgrace that we can have companies who are giving pensions to their employees. Employees work for decades and believe that they have a pension that they're entitled to and guaranteed. And pensions on the federal level, are protected by federal legislation. So here we have a situation now where companies, to get rid of the risk, they're giving it to private insurance companies as part of an annuity. What happens is once we lose that federal protection, anything can happen to that pension, and the retirees could be out without having any pension whatsoever. So my legislation would require the state to put in the same protections that the federal government has for those pensions of any company doing business, certified to do business within the state of New York. Money shouldn't be the bottom line here. It should be protecting people's pension. They worked all their lives to put the money in, and the company put the money in, and that must be protected, and that's why we have federal legislation. So some companies are obviously finding a way around it. That's not right, and we have to do something on the state level, and hopefully we can duplicate what we can do in New York State for other states across the country, so that even if these companies do this, and a retiree who lives in New York State moves to another state, they'll be protected.
I worked for the company for 33 years. I retired. I figured everything was going to be good. Of course, that's the big lie, because it's not good. Retirees, and I just talked to people in this room, are afraid. Got a right to be afraid. Because your pensions are being sold off. If they're not sold off today, they might be sold off tomorrow. You wake up tomorrow and find out you got a letter in the mail from some insurance company. Well, it's great. These insurance companies are strong. A lot of companies were strong, and basically a lot of companies went bottoms up.
When you've spent 39 years in a company, and you assume there are things they give you, you make sacrifices. We all went out in snowstorms, we did all those extra things, worked round the clock, and then these little things start happening. It suddenly becomes they're a corporation and we're just the pegs that happen to have been there.
I really want to applaud this legislation. I was one of the 41,000 pensioners who had their pension moved to an insurance company, an annuity. And that arbitrary decision, took all control away. We no longer get the reports that Eileen alluded to, telling us what's happening to the assets that are supposed to be our pension. We will no longer get that. A pension is something that we count on. We counted on it throughout our career, throughout all the promises that were made that we were going to get it, and to have that placed in jeopardy